Well, good morning. The boat's getting waxed and finished detailed today, so we'll be able to get it in the water by the weekend. Okay, we're gonna do a quick garden tour here. We got some impatiens put in. I put some new vines in. We still gotta change these doors. We're on our second go around for owning this house. And there's little Toto coming into the front door, and here comes Bella. Good morning, Toto and Bella. There's Bella. And that goes to the front door there. You can see the tree ferns look great. We're gonna get around to the garden. This is one of the new windows to the remodel. Still not complete. You can see we still got the barbecue has to go back in. New doors to the dining room area. And then the folding doors, which the patio is still not poured here. Walking to the side yard. Here's what it looks like in the front. Looking around the house. So we're walking to the, that's a new door as well, into the kitchen. So here's the barbecue, which has to get the stone on top, and then we do want to do a cover that looks off to the resort that way on this foggy day. Now we're on the pool side of the yard. Do have a lot of flowers going on here. A lot of hydrangeas. And so we're gonna walk around, and when we round this bend, we come to the garden. Walking over to the pool equipment now. Here's the side gate, down the side to the side yard. So, okay, now we're coming into the garden area. So this was covered solid with roses. I cut them all back down. So here's the extension of the garden. So what we've got here is a couple pumpkins. I think I've got 2 pumpkins, and then I've got acorn squash here. You can see it's really taking off. I don't know if we're gonna see any little pumpkins coming yet, but we got a lot of flowers. And then, oops, we had a little dog stop there. So this is the corn, and it is knee-high by 4th of July. And we've got the beans growing next to the corn. You can see they're starting to wrap and go up the corn. So this was designed as a little walk-in space, so you can actually, it makes an L in the midst of the roses. And then as we move around here, these are cucumber plants with a large plantain, which came from Puerto Rico. And then there's a baby plantain coming up down there. So the plantain's doing great. Pepper plants, which the bugs are eating, and I am using the citrus spray to try to do, it's not working too successfully. And they're also going for the basil. Now the tomatoes, we way overplanted tomatoes, but the tomatoes are huge. Tomatoes are, well, that one over there, if I were standing next to it, it's nearly 6 feet high. Okay, this is the pet grass here. So now you can start to see the tomatoes there on the side of the house. And then here we come to the planter boxes. Strawberry here. A few strawberries. And then here, what we're finding is the dog was digging out the carrots and was eating the carrots. So here's a problem there is the basil, those little things. But as far as the lettuce and everything else, they're all very healthy. So we're still trying to get rid of the bug. We found one. Looks like a little green grasshopper, but it isn't a grasshopper. And then the tomatoes and all the squash in front. And let's look and see if we see any squash. Yeah, and there we are. There's the yellow squash right there. There's some yellow squash. Tomatoes. There are some tomatoes in there, and I saw some large ones, but nothing's red yet. But we've got some large tomatoes in here. Okay, and let's see if we have any zucchini coming. Oh, wow. That one's ready to pick. I didn't see that one. I think we'll have that for dinner tonight. So that'll be our first harvest. We have been cutting leaves off. What my dad said is, because he loves gardening, is to actually don't harvest the center of the lettuce, but cut the leaves off on the outside, and then it'll keep going. So we have been doing that, and then they keep going, and then they're starting to spur off like a little separate lettuce thing there too. So there's echinacea. So all we got to do is get rid of that bug that's eating the peppers and the basil, and we're good to go. So that concludes the tour of the Whaley Estate Garden.